Welcome to the video which I want to dedicate to mermaids. You know that May in coloring community and drawing community it's Mermaid, a month where many of artists try to draw or to color mermaids. Previous year I fully participated in Mermaid and during the whole month I colored several mermaids. And during the last year I gathered even more coloring books with mermaid images. So today I want to show you in this video all my finished pictures with mermaids, and I did a lot of them. I think that I love mermaids probably as much as I love dragons. And in the next video I will share with you my plans for the mermaid of this year. Let's start with my biggest book about mermaids, and it's a book by Anastasia Caldwell, her first one, and I have the first edition. I think that book is still available, but pictures are slightly different. This book is a little bit intimidating because you can see how huge it is, but I love that you can color here background using watercolors. In my opinion, pictures with mermaids, they have to be printed on good paper because it suits them to have watercolor background. It's easy to do realistic water using watercolors. So I am glad that these big pictures we can color with watercolors. So far I did only 3 pictures here. This one probably is my favorite. It's a very old project. It was one of my first projects on Patreon, and here I mixed a lot of things, regular watercolors and also pearlescent watercolors. I hope you can see that area around the mermaid is shiny, and I added a little bit of golden watercolor to her hair, to her tail also. Fun thing is that fishes I colored using a regular highlighter, highlighter for the text, but it was helpful for the body of fishes. So I do love this page. And couple of pictures which I did just when I got the book to test paper, to test pencils here. This one, I think that I made it maybe 4 years ago, so it's really one of my earliest pictures. And another one here where I really appreciated that it was possible to do background with watercolors. I think that I combined here Prismacolors, maybe Derwent Color Softs also, and watercolor. The book is really good. Its set size is a little bit intimidating. Next, of course, we have Dennis Clad book. Let me adjust my camera and let's have a look at my finished pictures here. Mermaids is my favorite book among all my books by Dennis Clad. Here I have this beautiful page with walruses, but it cost me a lot of efforts. I struggled with the background by putting first watercolors, didn't like how it reacted with paper, then put it a little bit of acrylic paint, gouache paint, but in the end I think that it turned quite nicely, and I especially love the mermaid in winter outfit. It's quite a rare thing, and of course walruses are quite good. The next one here is this pirate mermaid. I did a lot of areas here with watercolor, and it was very helpful, especially for the background. But most of all, I love her tail here. It has a lot of patches, and again, it's a very nice idea by Dennis Clad, so it was quite interesting to color. This page I colored maybe couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but I remember that it was time before Christmas. That's why I turned this page into Christmas scene. That's why I added these garlands and tried to create a really festive mood, and I really love it. It's even has some glossy elements. I added some shining accents with glitter gel pens, so I think that indeed it has some Christmas spirit in it. The next one is this mermaid, which I did exactly a year ago for the previous mermaid. Again, doing background with watercolor wasn't an easy thing, but with the help of some neocolor crayons I managed to do it. So if you are interested, the color along video is on my channel. And I do love her look. She looks so relaxed and enjoying the weather, the sun, and birds of course are also quite cute. It's one of my earlier works, and here the biggest problem was to do this area of the background. I needed to fill in this white space somehow. I was pretty happy with the beginning of the coloring, with her hair, with her tail, and of course with this very cute turtle. And then I had this idea to add the waterfall, but at that time I was quite unexperienced colorist, and it was quite difficult how to do waterfall. And I also wanted to do this rainbow, which we can from time to time see near the waterfalls. So I struggled a lot, but even now I do love this effect. And I learned a lot. I think that it was my first page in this book. For me, at that moment, it was something very new, trying to do a different skin tone, this green, this blue, so I was quite proud of myself. Again, watercolor on the water was helpful. Watercolor on the sky behaved badly and created some stains, so I had to cover it with a layer of pencils. But in the end, I think that it was quite a good start for this wonderful book. What else I have? It's one of my favorite mermaids here because I love that she has a very nice shape of her figure. She is cute herself. I do love her flowers in her hair, and I love that she's cozy in her shell that she's reading, so a very nice quiet picture. I really enjoy doing it. I think that again I put a little bit of watercolor here and then tried to mask stains using pencils on top of it. And I think that again this color along, it's maybe 3 years ago, but it's already was on my YouTube channel, so it's the page which I totally messed up because here I wanted to test how people work with oil pastels, so I put oil pastel and solvent, and you can see that it's terrible. It's maybe the only page in all my books which I really want to tear off and to delete, to destroy completely. But the next one is good. Here it's my only page where I used Derwent ink tens so far. For the mermaids, maybe I need to use them more, but at least for the vegetables, for the seaweeds, it was very helpful. And with Prismacolors I created pastel background, pastel colors on the shell, on the bus, and I think that they created nice contrast to the more intense turquoise color of the tail. And octopus, she is so cute. Probably the octopus is my favorite part here. That's all for the mermaids in this book, and we will be going to the mermaids created by Martin Noble. I know that recently I made video about Martin Noble, so I will be quite quick. we will be looking at this one and only page with mermaids, which I did in this book. Well, I love her by herself. I love how I selected colors for the tail. Maybe because of the similarity of colors which I selected for her tail to the colors which I used for the rest of the page. She isn't popping up on the page, but still, because of her black hair, she is not lost, and you can clearly see that she is one of the important elements here. But I wouldn't say... I do love how it looks, and I don't think that I needed some other colors for her tail. When I just finished it, I had a lot of doubts, but now I do love it how it is. I think that all elements here are nicely balanced. Animals, fishes and mermaid, like they all are living in the ocean, in the water. And of course, I also have mermaids in this beautiful mythical mermaids. I won't be talking about it for a long time, also because here I have two pictures which I recently, just weeks ago, finished. One is the Warsaw mermaid, and the second one is this Caribbean mermaid. I do love this book because we have these short stories about each of the mermaid, the legend or the story where she is come from which part of the world. So it's helpful in selecting your first color palette to get you some initial idea about colors. So this in April I colored two pictures. For both of them mostly I used Color, and I do love them here, but I also managed to use a little bit of acrylic and gouache paint, mostly here to help me to get rid of the black lines on the water and to add highlights, and that's how I intend to proceed in this book. Even if it's double-sided, I didn't have any problems. I think that with pencils only it's possible to color. Here again I used color on everything apart from her skin, and then with some acrylic paint, gouache paint, I got rid of the excessive black lines. A very nice book, and I hope that slowly, step by step, I will be filling it with mermaids from different parts of the world. Next, I will show you my mermaids designed by Mistletoomics, and here I wouldn't say that I managed to do something beautiful from the amazing designs. I have two colored mermaids so far, and I am afraid to proceed. My first mermaid isn't that bad, and it was in Villain Sun. Well, the page by itself, it's not bad, but I would say that I definitely used excessive amount of colors, so something is bothering me. Probably the word is, it's just too much. Maybe if I would do her tail with just one color, maybe golden, it would be better, like more stylish. But even now, I do love this image, especially I love the black pearl, this rays of light coming from the shell, from the pearl, which I added with white. I love some of the fishes, but as I said, they all are nice by themselves, but as a group it's excessive amount of colors, and it's a problem for many of my works. The same thing goes for the mermaid in Villain Sun. When I started to color here, I almost went in order to do pictures, and when I arrived here, I was pretty happy. I started with corals and I started with water. Everything looked quite nice. But then I got this idea of mixing magenta with orange and with purple. I love that palette. I wanted to test it here, and I hoped that because of the intensity of colors, my mermaid will stood up against the background colors, but somehow with similar colors on the corals, or maybe because of her dark hair, she looks slightly lost. Again, it's a problem of pictures with many details. Because we have colorful fishes and we have many other elements here, it's very difficult to attract attention to the focal point, to the main character, to the mermaid. And here I lost it. I think that if I would do her white hair, it would look nicer, but when this idea arrived to me, I didn't want to correct it. I was afraid that on top of the magenta and orange hair, it would be a disaster if I would try to change it to white or something else, something light. So for now I'm calmer about this page. I am not so disappointed in the result. Again, it was good experience and I do love her by herself. She just not matching well with the background colors and with fishes. So even if I do love the next image with mermaid in this book, I don't think that I will be doing it this year. I have one mermaid designed by Good Vibes and Warriors, and her experience was much more pleasant comparing to coloring in the Mistletoomics. Of course, image here is very simple, but I still like it. I used some watercolors, but mostly I used Prismacolors. Again, I tried to add some rays of light near the shell, and I love how I combined colors for her tail. I will show you closer her hair, her tail, this fish, beautiful birds. So it's small, but I would say that it's quite cute. The next one, I'm not sure that it's actually a mermaid. I called this page Aquarius, but for me it's still some kind of the mermaid. So I will show you it. And it's here. It's one of my old works in Magical Dawn. It was time when I did almost each week a couple of pages from Magical Dawn. Here I combined, I believe, acrylic paints for the sky, then some Prismacolor pencils probably for the rest of the page. I can clearly see a light aqua, I can see aquamarine, true blue colors here, so indeed Prismacolors here, but also some acrylic paint. Now I would definitely add some more accents to the scale on the fish. Maybe I would also add some glitter gel pen to the Aquarius girl, but still I do love this work, and even now after several years I'm quite proud of it. Next one is another mermaid which I did a year ago. This time it's designed by Kinoka Craft. Again, I have it on my YouTube channel. Let me adjust my camera. And it was a big struggle in the very beginning. You probably know that usually I prefer to start working from the background, and that's exactly what I did here. I started to do these beautiful corals, shells and underwater creatures. So when it was time to do the mermaid, and I had very clear idea that I want to use mostly golden colors for her, with addition of some lilac and pink color accents, I was afraid that she will be totally lost because I used similar colors here and probably it wasn't the best idea. But at that moment I already was more experienced, so by adding white accents to her wings, to the edges of her tail, I was able to make her lighter comparing to the background. Also, I added these highlights on the water around the mermaid. I added color accents to the sky, and these small details, they helped my mermaid to pop up. So now I'm really proud of this page. I remember that I recorded a couple of parts of this color along. Then it was huge time off for me. I was thinking probably for 2 or 3 weeks how to proceed, how not to ruin it completely. And then at one moment I sat and I finished it, and I was proud of myself. So for now it's one of my favorite finished mermaids. I hope that in this May I will manage to do something similar in quality and in beauty. And the final one will be from Fairy Tales by Selena Fennick. This one I love dearly. Here I have my mermaid. I do love my mermaid by herself. I am quite happy how her tail looks. You know how important is the tail for the mermaid, and when I do a lot of mermaids one after one, it's challenging to find interesting color combos for the tails of each of the mermaids. So it's another one of the interesting tasks for the maid, to create interesting color combos for all of the various mermaids. I'm pretty happy how I did her hair and skin, but most of all I'm glad that I selected muted colors for this landscape behind, for the clouds, for the unusual color for the sky, for the castle, and for this area with the sand and small bushes. So the tail of the mermaid is the brightest thing here, and it's immediately attract all the attention. Probably it's my second favorite mermaid. And I hope again that in Selena Fennick books I definitely will be coloring more. I hope that you liked my finished pictures with mermaid, and I will be publishing together with this video another one with my May plans. So if you want to help me to select among many of my mermaid pictures, I hope that you will watch that video also. Thank you, and I hope that you all will participate in mermaid because it's very fun.